Hello everyone and welcome back to Inside Luxury Campers. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect moment because today I'm going to show you something that honestly made my jaw drop at the exhibition. A compact camper, under 6 meters, under 20 feet long, but inside it has 2 floors, a 400-liter fresh water tank that's over 100 gallons, and a 55 kilowatt-hour battery, like a full-size electric car. And this is not a concept, this is a production vehicle that is already on sale. Let's take a closer look. When I first walked up to this camper at the exhibition, I thought, okay, just a regular Class C, a white body, flat front cab, side windows, an awning, storage hatches. Nothing too unusual, but then I looked at the roof and realized this was a completely different story. This camper has a raised upper section, almost a real second floor, and which gives it much more interior space. And at the same time, the whole vehicle still stays within the 6-meter limit, meaning it is under 20 feet long. And here's another important point. I spoke with the manufacturer, and they are interested in export. Of course, shipping a complete motorhome overseas is complicated because of certification, homologation, and compliance with local standards, but there is a much simpler option. The manufacturer can ship the living module, basically the camper body with all the equipment, as a regular product without vehicle certification. Then, in your country, this module can be installed on a suitable chassis. This makes logistics and paperwork much cheaper and much easier. I'll leave the manufacturer's contact information in the video description, so if you're interested, you can contact them directly. But let's get back to the camper itself because there is a lot to talk about here. This is exactly what many Chinese RV manufacturers are trying to do right now. Build a real family motorhome with a large interior, serious water capacity, strong off-grid autonomy, and still keep it compact enough so that a regular person with a normal driver's license can drive it. The chassis is the BYD T5DM, and this is not a traditional diesel chassis like an Iveco Ford Transit or Sprinter. This is a new energy commercial platform. Essentially, it is a range extender hybrid. The wheels are driven by an electric motor, while a small 1.5-liter gasoline engine works as a generator, recharging the battery and allowing the vehicle to keep going without stopping to charge. Peak electric motor output is around 150 kilowatts, which is roughly 200 horsepower, and the most important part, a BYD blade battery with a capacity of about 55 kilowatt hours. Just stop for a second. 55 kilowatt hours is not a small camper house battery, that is Tesla-level battery capacity. And it is built directly into the chassis of this vehicle. How does this work in real life? This camper drives more like an electric truck than a regular diesel van. Quiet starts, smooth acceleration, and a low noise level at slow speeds. On pure electric power, according to different sources, it can drive around 150 kilometers, about 90 miles. For a camper, that is very useful. Imagine driving quietly through a campground along a scenic lakeside road, or through a small town with no engine noise and no exhaust fumes. And when you need to travel far, on the highway, into the mountains, or across the country, the gasoline generator turns on and extends the driving range. You are not fully dependent on charging stations, but you still get the advantages of electric drive. This is very different from most European and American campers, where the base vehicle is usually diesel and the living area is powered by a separate small battery. Now think about why a large battery matters so much in a camper. A motorhome is not just transportation, it is a small house on wheels. You need electricity for lighting, air conditioning, heating, the refrigerator, water pump, induction cooktop, phone and laptop charging. Some people even install a washing machine. In a normal RV, you need a separate house battery, solar panels, an inverter, shore power, and sometimes a diesel generator. It is a separate system that adds weight, complexity, and cost. But here, the chassis itself already carries a huge energy reserve that can be used both for driving and for daily living. One manufacturer building campers on this platform claims up to 6 kilowatts of external discharge power. That means you can plug in household appliances, and the vehicle powers them. Essentially, this is a mobile power station with a bed and a kitchen. For comparison, a typical house battery in a European or American camper is around 100 to 200 amp hours at 12 volts, which means roughly 1 to 2.5 kilowatt hours of usable capacity. Even with a lithium upgrade, you might get 3, maybe 5 kilowatt hours. Here, 55. The difference is not just several times bigger, it is a completely different level. Now the numbers: length, around 6 meters, under 20 feet, width, 2.3 meters, about 7.5 feet, height, 3.4 meters, a little over 11 feet, fresh water capacity at 400 liters, more than 105 gallons, gray water, 200 liters, around 53 gallons, black water, another 200 liters, and this is where I was genuinely surprised. A typical European camper van usually has 80 to 120 liters of fresh water, around 30 gallons at most. Even a large American Class C often has around 150 to 200 liters, somewhere around 40 to 50 gallons. But here, 400 liters in a vehicle only 6 meters long. That is serious expedition level capacity. With that much water, you could live off-grid for a week without looking for a place to refill. The price is around $55,000 for the version with the lifting roof. And it's worth mentioning that another manufacturer building on the BYD T5DM platform has a basic version without a lifting roof starting at around 260,000 yuan, or about $36,000. So here we are clearly looking at a higher configuration. But even at around $54,000 for a vehicle with a BYD hybrid chassis, this battery, and this level of equipment, the price is extremely aggressive compared with what you would get for the same money in the West. The exterior is extremely functional. I walked around the vehicle and the profile is tall, rectangular, almost commercial. This is not a low-profile European motorhome designed for aerodynamics and elegant lines. This is a different approach. The walls are almost vertical, the windows are placed high, and the entrance door is in the middle of the living module. The whole structure is built around one principle: maximum interior volume in the smallest possible exterior size. The cab comes from a BYD truck with a flat nose. It looks unusual if you are used to European vans, but it is a very practical solution. Without a long hood at the front, more of the total vehicle length can be used for the living module. That is exactly why Chinese manufacturers like these cab-over platforms so much. Every centimeter works for interior space. On the side, you can see the long awning, ventilation openings, service hatches, and the main entrance. The graphics are simple: a mountain logo, a world map, and a few orange accent stripes. This is not a premium showpiece and not glamorous glamping on wheels. It is an honest, practical family camper, and it looks exactly like that. The main feature, of course, is the roof. This raised upper section is what makes the camper truly special. In Chinese RV terminology, this type of structure is called shengding, a lifting roof, but visually, it looks much more serious than a normal pop-top on a camper van. The upper level gives extra space for sleeping or relaxing, more ceiling height on the first floor, and the overall feeling that you're inside something much larger than a 6-meter vehicle. Some similar Chinese models use the upper section as a panoramic lounge with windows on all sides. Others use it as a separate children's area. Some use it simply so that an adult can stand properly at full height. Inside, everything is built for family use. Several sleeping places, a proper cooking area, and space for daily living. The large battery allows you to cook on an induction stove, run the air conditioning for hours, charge everything, and not worry that the battery will be empty by morning. In the kitchen area, I noticed that Chinese manufacturers often use a dual cooking setup, an induction cooktop inside, plus the possibility to cook outside. And that makes a lot of sense. In a small living space, it is better to avoid strong smells, oil vapor, and extra humidity. A separate outdoor kitchen solves that very elegantly. The bathroom is another important point. A vehicle can have huge tanks on paper, but the bathroom still needs to be comfortable in real life. A 200-liter black water tank, or 53 gallons, is unusual even for larger motorhomes. This clearly shows that the camper is designed for long-term autonomy, not just campground use with hookups. Now, for contrast, I also have documentation for another Chinese camper, the Hoo Commander. and it is a good comparison because it is built in a more traditional way. A 2.5-liter turbo diesel engine, an 8-speed automatic transmission, and a 130-liter fuel tank, which is about 34 gallons. The living system is separate: a 600-watt inverter, solar controller, diesel heater, a small 40-liter water heater, air conditioner, refrigerator, projector. Everything is standard and proven, but the house battery in such a camper is usually around 100 to 200 amp hours, meaning roughly 1 to 2 kilowatt hours. Compare that with 55 kilowatt hours in the BYD, and you understand why this platform changes the rules of the game. It is a completely different philosophy of energy supply, but now let's be honest, because I always try to show things as they really are. First, the height, 3.4 meters or 11 feet. This is a tall vehicle. Under bridges, in parking areas near low trees, you always need to pay attention. Underground parking, forget it. Side winds on open highways will also be more noticeable than in a low-profile camper. It is not a deal breaker, but it is a reality you have to consider. Second, the weight. A large battery is heavy. 400 liters of water means another 400 kilograms, almost 900 pounds, when the tank is full. Add passengers, luggage, food, tools, and equipment, and you quickly get close to the payload limit. Chinese campers often advertise impressive equipment lists, but the real loaded weight needs to be checked very carefully. Third, the reliability of the lifting mechanism. Any moving roof structure adds complexity. It has to seal properly in the rain, handle wind, remain stable when parked, and stay reliable after hundreds of lifting cycles. The concept is cool, but moving parts always require good engineering and regular maintenance. Fourth, service outside China. BYD is a serious brand, and its batteries and electric drivetrain have been tested for years, but a camper is more than just a chassis. The body, plumbing, electrical integration, and lifting mechanism all come from the RV manufacturer, and the question of who will service this in my country 5 years from now is still open. Although again, if they ship the living module separately and you install it on a local chassis, then the drivetrain can be serviced by authorized service centers in your own country. And the living module is basically plumbing, electrical systems, and furniture, something any good RV technician can work with. So who is this vehicle for? Definitely not for a solo minimalist who wants to travel light and unnoticed. This is a choice for families for long-distance travel and for people who want maximum comfort and autonomy in a compact size. Children get their own space on the second floor, parents get a proper kitchen, bathroom, and enough water for a week. The battery supports climate control and all electronics without anxiety. And all of this comes in a vehicle that can still fit into a regular parking space. My conclusion, and it is an honest one, this BYD two-story camper is not just another Chinese RV. It is a new philosophy of camper design. Instead of a diesel van with a small living module, this is a new energy platform with a compact autonomous apartment built on top. A range extender hybrid, 55 kilowatt hours of battery capacity, 400 liters of fresh water, and 2 floors, all in a vehicle shorter than 6 meters. Is it perfect? No. Is it suitable for every country? Also no. But as a concept, it is one of the most interesting vehicles I have seen in China. European campers focus on refinement, lightweight construction, and proven solutions. American RVs focus on size, comfort, and large living spaces. But Chinese manufacturers are increasingly moving in their own direction, maximum technology and autonomy in a compact package. And this camper is a perfect example of that direction. And you know what? I saved the best part for the end. Look, here it is, the transformation moment. This is how the roof rises, how the second floor opens up. Look at these mechanisms, these locks, and how much extra space appears in just a few seconds. Even if you would never buy this camper, you have to admit it looks impressive. Is this the future of compact campers, or is it too complicated for real life? Write your thoughts in the comments. I'm genuinely curious what you think. Like the video, subscribe to Inside Luxury Campers, and I'll see you in the next one.